Good morning. We're going to be reading Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 today. But the souls of the righteous are in the hand of God, and no torture will ever touch them. In the eyes of the undiscerning they seemed to have died, and their departure was considered to be misfortune. And their passage from us was us to be their destruction, but they are at peace. For though in man's view they are punished, their hope is full of immortality. Though chastened in a few things, great kindness will be shown them, for God tested them and found them worthy of himself. He tested them like gold in a furnace and accepted them as a whole burnt offering. In the time of their visitation they will shine forth, and they will run about like sparks through straw. They will judge nations and rule over peoples, and the Lord shall reign over them unto the ages. Those who trust in him will understand truth, and the faithful shall continue with him in love, because grace and mercy are upon his elect. But the ungodly shall experience the punishment they themselves plotted, they who rejected the righteous man and rebelled against the Lord. For whoever despises wisdom and instruction is miserable. Their hope is in vain. Their labors are useless, and their works are useless. Their wives are foolish, and their children are evil, their existence accursed. Blessed is the undefiled barren woman who has not known sexual promiscuity. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. Blessed also is the eunuch who has done no lawless deed, nor thought evil things against the Lord. For a chosen grace of faith will be given to him, and a delightful portion in the temple of the Lord. For the fruit of good labors is of good report, and the root of discernment is infallible. But the children of adulterers shall not reach maturity, and the seed of a lawless bed shall perish. For even if they live a long time, they shall be considered as nothing, and in the end their old age will be accounted a dishonor. But if they should die young, they would have no hope, nor consolation in the day of decision. For the end of an unrighteous generation is grievous. That is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3. And I think you can see, and we see a lot of these themes in the New Testament. We see quite a few of these themes throughout Second Temple literature, if you ever get a chance to read on there. Actually, speaking of that, I'll probably put a link in the description to quite a bit of a website that has a lot of Second Temple literature on it, if anyone's interested in reading through that. And you can see these same kind of ideas going through there. Sorry. Still a little snotty and stuff. Not quite over the infection. I'm just kind of looking over these notes here, but I think this idea, and right, we see it in the prophets. You know, the righteous will be rewarded, the wicked judged. You see it in the Proverbs and the Psalms. It's just kind of all throughout there. But here, and I know a lot of people point to Ezekiel. Quite a few people can make a decent case for it in Genesis, right? You know, Jesus quotes from Genesis, I am the God of Abraham, of Jacob, of Isaac, not the dead, the living. So there's this long case for the resurrection here, and I think that line, their hope is full of immortality, that's just beautiful line. I think that's something we really need to focus on in our time, is in this present time, right? Things kind of look miserable, but we have a reason to hope, and we have something that's promised to us. We have something that's assured us, right? God carries out his promises. His promises cannot be stopped. And though, right, this is for me isn't part of my canon, right? It's not tier 1 canon. It's not above. It's the Deutero-Canon. It's Apocrypha. But you can still see a lot of this hope throughout a ton of Second Temple literature. This promise of the coming resurrection, right? When Mary is talking to Jesus, when he says Lazarus will rise from the dead, she says, I know there will be a resurrection. She still has that hope for that, even in the midst of that sorrow. And I think we still need to keep on holding on to that hope. I think that's something to kind of really focus on today as you go forward.